We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Chris Brooks, Miami Dolphins running back. Definitely my favorite undrafted guy, and I thought he was the best undrafted free agent the Dolphins had all preseason. He looked absolutely amazing out there. He made the roster in a very difficult spot to be in too, like in the running back room. Like they had a lot of bodies there. Brooks proved himself. He obviously offers like a different skill set to the rest of the guys, which I think really helps him out. But also, he's not just like your bruising big back type. Like he's got more than that to his game. I wouldn't be as big of a fan if he was just sort of like your typical bruiser. But he's got a little more juice and finesse than you would think, combined with that ability, break tackles, contact balance, play strength, which is very, very helpful. And then I think the mental side of his game is really, really nice. Like he understands how to manipulate, press the line of scrimmage, attack to the second level. He's got really good vision and anticipation skills, which I think is huge. And he's just very efficient with his footwork in the backfield. It makes him like get upfield very nicely, and he just makes plays. And this is one of my favorite plays. This sort of lead outside zone to the weak side here, and he ends up just boom falling off the back of his fullback. We'll watch this a little more slowly. It's nothing like doesn't look too crazy at first watch. But just watch his like angle that he takes here, taking that widened angled right here to the outside, sort of forces this guy to commit to this outside leverage, gets this wide to open up, even forces 21. Look at his angle he's coming down, just reading the running back, presses long enough, and then boom, commits. Look how quickly with his footwork, he just boom, one step, gets upfield vertically. He knows that only this linebacker has to take on the fullback in the lane, and once that happens, he anticipates the overflowing, finds it, and then bursts to hit this hole, and then he's even anticipating, finds this cutback lane behind the tackle there, or behind the center, and it's just an amazing play from a processing standpoint, how quickly he was reading this defense, the flow of the play, knew exactly where guys were going to be. He just understands the run concept, and then you can see the burst too. After that one sort of step, he just boom, upfield, makes a nice cut, and he gets sort of tripped up, right, by this linebacker, and or by the safety. He trips him up with his feet at about like a few yards down the field, but he stays up long enough to fall forward to pick up 9, which is super amazing. So even, he can run through arm tackles, show some physicality. He adds something to like the goal line package. And, with Jeff Wilson hurt, I really hope he gets a chance to prove himself early on, because you never know what happens to the roster once Wilson comes back. The running back room could change up how it looks. But I just want to see Brooks get a chance. I'm a big fan of his game overall, as you can see how dominant he was in the preseason, and even in this third game versus the Jaguars. Here's his first touchdown versus the Jaguars, and you can just see that element that he brings to this offense, just fighting for extra yards down in this goal line situation. We'll go back and watch this from the wide angle again. You can see, first of all, he just understands his job here, following off the back of 80 right here, who's working down on some split action. And there's penetration initially in the backfield. He stays patient, works off the back of it. It's very nice to see. We'll watch it from this angle. All the penetration here. The offensive line all flowing to the right. There's some split zone action here happening. 58 sort of falls through. This gets all muddied up, and he's ready to just already hit the cutback lane. Look how quickly he's reading the flow of this defense, because he's reading sort of down here, like this player to this player to this player, and he's already hitting this cutback lane, working off the back of Connor. Gets skinny through the hole too, runs through that initial arm tackle from a D tackle, drops his pad level to go through the linebacker too, and then takes on a safety arm tackle, just carrying people into the end zone. He knows how to brace for contact, gets skinny in these holes too, very, very impressive play. Ends up going through 4 people to get in the end zone. That's such an important, valuable skill set. Something where the Dolphins really struggled last season. That's where that bruiser skill set comes in, but it's more than just being a bruiser. Having a little bit of athleticism to your game, understanding how to brace for the contact balance, play strength, all of those things combined get you in the end zone there, and it's something that I think could help himself carve out a role in this offense, especially early on. Brooks is super comfortable on these outside zone runs. I feel like there's this stigma that people think only super fast explosive backs excel in outside zone runs. I actually have found these guys that are just sort of one cut runners. If you have a one cut runner play style, it doesn't matter how big you are. A lot of bigger guys excel in this type of system. Brooks is one of them. It's just his footwork. He understands where he's supposed to be, the flow of the play. He's just reading down here. He sees basically them get wide. 47 sort of resets the line of scrimmage, and he's ready to just boom, get downhill in an instant. He braces for contact. Everything to love about this play. Just the quick processing of it, the vision to find this hole. Look at his angle here, right here. He's really committing to the outside, he's going to capture the edge. And as soon as he gets the ball, he's already ready to hit the cutback lane, hit through this hole. 50 gets caught up just enough. He sort of presses up to here without hitting this hole instantly, which gets 50 to slow down. He would have committed over the top and made this play, and then he bursts through behind it, and then he gets skinny. Look how he like positions his shoulders. If you like sort of like turn your shoulders like that, you like from these angles, you reduce the surface area of your body for these defenders to get a clean tackle on you, and it really allows you to run through it. Like, because even if you know you're a bigger guy and you have great play strength, contact balance, if you don't know how to position your body, like you'll still get knocked over and tackled in those type of situations. And look how he secures the ball, and then he sort of falls a little bit out of the contact, but he gets back, secures the ball, 2 hands on it, drops his shoulder into 3 more guys, fight forward, fall for another 2-3 yards. Those types of plays, those hidden yardages you're picking up, and these things tire out the defense. It's so important, and it's such like I really can't wait to watch Brooks play. I hope he sticks around for the long haul, because I would not mind watching him and A-Chain work together in tandem, because I feel like they're a really nice balance of skill sets, like one being the bruiser type, one being the finesse type, but they both have a little bit of those things to their game. Like A-Chain, small and fast, but plays more physical than you would expect. Brooks, bigger guy, but plays with a little more finesse and juice than you would expect, and it's, be fun to see them as sort of change of pace backs down the line, especially because, this year with Mostert definitely being the starter, but those guys, Mostert, Wilson, a little bit up in age, would like to see those two work in tandem at some point in the future. This play, nothing too crazy here. He just gains 2 yards. I know it just doesn't seem like your average play. Do like to see him fighting at the end there, but I just want to show this from like a processing perspective from this backside here, how he's reading this. Some more weak side, outside zone, working off with a lead blocker here, and he's just reading enemy line of scrimmage. This guy clearly has outside leverage. Then you're working down, like, you might think he's going to hit through this hole right away, right? But he's supposed to work off the back of his fullback. That's like his job here. Follow this guy in the hole. You can also come down to this right here, but he's anticipating. The anticipation here is very nice, because you could hit this hole right away. A lot of running backs would, but these holes close up fast, and he just got the ball in his hand. And look how 47 instantly, within a half second, is already taking up that hole. Like, if he tried to hit that, he wouldn't have gotten it. So he made a good anticipation read here. Like, enemy line of scrimmage, shouldn't go there. He's taking up that. He's anticipating. This gets all muddied up here. He's reading the leverage of 58, keep cutting back, and like, by the time he gets there, he probably could have cut back into here, but there was really nowhere to go. So then he just sort of drops his shoulders, gets hit in the backfield, probably to lose a yard, and he ends up gaining 2 yards on the play. So I love the fight that he brings. So even if he's gonna, have these plays where things just don't end up working out, it's just good defense, things aren't blocked up perfectly, you're not gonna always have that every single time. It's still nice to see him picking up 2 yards, and based on just the process of the play, how the defense played it, I think he still made the correct reads initially. Then the very next play, he ends up scoring anyways, getting him involved on some, GTE action there, off the pullers. He just hits down this hole instantly. It opens up pretty nicely. You can see the burst there too. Nothing like super crazy, just working off the back of your blockers. Gets skinny too. He ends up running into his own player, but just we'll watch this from this angle here. They're sort of timing this up. I love this action here with, Connor pulling through, everyone down blocking, the guard pulling up through the hole, and he's just taking this ball, getting skinny. See how he works out the back of this down block and the kick out here, and he's just, boom, burst through, runs into his own guy. You can see he's ready to brace for contact just to get in the end zone. I love how he lowers his shoulders like that, gets very low, because he's a pretty tall back. I think he's like 6'1", but he plays with good pad level, especially when he's about to brace for contact. But yeah, from the process of that play, nothing too crazy, because the hole ends up opening up, but it's nice to see him get that second touchdown. Very confident player down in the red zone. Last play that we're going to break down for Chris Brooks, just getting him involved in some screen game. Nothing, super insane here. You saw that screen touchdown versus the Texans, and I like, the option that he takes here. He just grabs it, works off the back of his blocks. Like, he sees it open up right away. Like, he has bodies out here, and he just doesn't waste any time. He just bursts through. You can see the burst running right through there. That's an exceptional burst for his size. Like, he's not the most athletic player, but you're not expecting him to be at his size range. That's a 1st and 25 situation after some penalties. So I like the idea of him just being, get downhill in a hurry. Like, we've seen him, like, behind the backfield. He can be patient and then hit a hole. He's very one-cut runner type. He's patient for like half a second, and then he's decisive, hits that. But I like how he just grabs this, takes sort of, just a quick moment to take everything in, and then boom, downhill, like the burst, pick up those yardage, waste no time. And I like that he has like sort of solid hands out of the backfield. Like, he's not going to be like any like huge receiving threat ever, but I think he can be, a check down screen option. Clearly, he's comfortable making these plays in the preseason, so we'll see how that translates to the next. He's probably not going to be that main go-to guy on the roster for that, but it's always nice to mix things up, keep defenses on their toes, and Brooks can at least accomplish that. Getting lined up out wide, nice to see a little bit of versatility to his game. So if you guys really, really make sure that comment,